I mean, even diving into the stuff that happened today. So obviously Joe Biden stepped down out of the presidential election, which I think anyone with two eyes kind of saw coming.
Yeah.
But then the fact that it seems like it's been all but decided or announced officially that Kamala is going to be the not Democratic elect.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like she wasn't elected by people. So like it feels like there's a democracy issue there, right? To me.
Well, I mean, she's not the elect until the DNC in 3 weeks,
Yes.
where there will be democratic processes.
Okay.
I think people are assuming so because a lot of the other candidates that we thought might step up have already endorsed her.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom today endorsed her, and I think that was everybody, including myself's pick for who would be slotted in. You know, there's still Gretchen. I forget her name. She's the governor of Michigan, swing state. High-ranking Dem that has had presidential aspirations for a while. So she didn't fully endorse Kamala. And also Obama's statement today was interesting because he said he has confidence that the right candidate will emerge and the democratic process will be followed. But he distinctly did not endorse Kamala. So I'm like, yo, Michelle 2024?
This shit feels like a fucking TV show, bro. Like, it feels like a House of Cards episode, bro.
Bro, it's a good one, too. I'm invested. I'm fully invested.
And I'm like, you know, I as wrong as it may be, because I know it's wrong, I'm like, I'm still just as tapped out. Because it just seems like there's too much going on to even really discern. Like, I think as things get closer and heat up, of course, you should educate yourself. Like, be made aware, especially if you're of voting age, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's honestly just overwhelming right now. It's too much for me to really be processing, bro. And I don't know, like, just speaking about overall politics and all this shit, bro, it's like, for me personally, I'd love to get you guys' takes on it. I know it affects our world. It's going to affect our lives and all that shit. But, like, me being a young adult growing up and figuring out all this other shit in my life, I really do find it hard to, like, give a fuck fully about all this as much as I should. So, like, how do you guys, what makes you guys care about this more?
I have never lived in a time where I've been proud to be American. And I have talked to specifically our Sam and Saul and how much they love Ethiopia and their sense of nationalism. And I've always envied that. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to be proud of where I'm from. And I think I was born during the last year of the Clinton administration, but most of my life I was in the Bush administration where we were doing terrible things in the Middle East. You know what I mean? And then we hit the recession, all this. I've never been proud. I would like to be proud. And I think I could be proud if there was somebody that was charismatic, empathetic, and could speak well and could restore kind of our reputation in the global economy. And also, I don't know. You know what I mean?
We're still built on such a flawed foundation. It's like, what does it mean to be proud to be American? You know what I mean? Like, there's been so much bad shit throughout history. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's, you know, you can either say, okay, the system's fucked, so I'll never be proud. And it's just like that. I think that's just a little negative. Like, I'm like, okay, yes, it started where it started, but today we have so many different points of view and mass communication and information. And I think we could turn this into something good that we're proud of, you know?
But we're still affected by all those systems that were put in place years ago that were so bad. You know what I mean? Like, I once again, don't know shit about shit, but it just seems like I don't know what to be proud of. But what you're saying makes sense.
I feel you, but it's just like there are things that would help.
Yes.
You don't have to love everything to acknowledge an improvement.
Yes.
Kamala, for as many flaws as she might have, whatever you want to say, she is somebody that I would be more proud than either of the two old men that were running, representing us amongst other nations. She's somebody that, whereas Donald Trump and Joe Biden were both very, very pro-Israel, somebody that has shown a lot more empathy to the situation that's going on in Palestine. And it's just a couple things that I'm like, okay, I could be more proud of where I live and where all my people live, you know? And so today was exciting for me because I'm like, maybe we'll get somebody that's inspiring.
Yeah.
I'll say, being from like DC, how do you feel about this whole thing?
I mean, I don't know. I'm mostly just like concerned for my parents that are still there.
Yeah.
Like, feel like they are probably just at a point where they're trying to figure things out because, like, and again, Puerto Rico is technically part of the States, but like, I feel like they both came here with a very different vision in mind for themselves and their kids. And while they achieved a lot, like, I think politically here, it's just kind of not really stable enough for them to continue wanting to even be out here. So I'm more concerned for them. I'm only concerned about what I can control and what's close to me, to be honest. I feel like during this time, building community is super important. Having people that are solid and close to you, like I said, dividing those lines and just moving with your group, bro. That's really what this is becoming. We're becoming like super nationalist, and eventually that's going to tear the country down.
I mean, do you think it's important to be educated about politics?
Yeah, it's definitely important to be educated about politics. I don't think for this election cycle much can be done when it comes to the presidential candidate, but I think at a local and state level, like, it's important to be educated about who you're putting in positions of power. And that all gets decided at the polls in November. So
who knows? Maybe I'll vote for the first time.